Today, I'm going to be proving with 100% proof that the devil was released in 1776 from his 1,000-year prison and that America was founded on demonic roots. Now, if you don't believe me, just finish the video and you can state your opinion. But obviously, this looks like the exact same thing, and it even has the 7 horns, which represent the sun, and then the light, which represents the light bringer, because the devil is the light bringer. And it has a broken chain because that's when obviously the devil was released. And why is it that the Christian-founded country has Roman numerals on the Statue of Liberty? It's because the devil represents Rome, and the beast and Antichrist that have to come already came. Rome was the beast, and the Antichrist everybody's looking for is Nero. He equals 666 in all languages. And then the Bible says that the beast has 7 hills, right, on which Mystery Babylon sits on, and then it also has 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is, and 1 is yet to come, and when he comes he must remain for a little while. Well, Rome is literally the city of 7 hills, and the 7th king ruled for only 3 months. So quite literally it's been fulfilled. So if Rome was the beast, why is it that America is now being a new Rome? Is it because the devil was literally released and we have a new world order? It literally said he has favored our undertakings, or providence has favored our beginnings, which means God. And then it says a new order of the ages. So take a good look at this pyramid. Now, can you see what I just showed you? It's okay if you can't, because once you do, you won't unsee it. It's literally a pyramid, the 13 steps, and an owl over Washington, D.C. And it's even crazier because when you zoom in up here, the eye of providence is right there. So basically, there's an owl, which shows up on the dollar as well, and we all know who the owl represents. And the owl also represents the God that they worship. Because why do our presidents and elites and celebrities all sacrifice to an owl in the middle of Bohemian Grove? Does that make sense? And at the top of the pyramid is the Capitol building, and there's the dome. Well, on that dome, there's this gorgeous painting of George Washington and Roman gods. We have this goddess of liberty, and then you have George Washington being represented as Zeus, which, like, that's ridiculous. And the Capitol building comes for this word, which means temple, and it's derived from the temple of Jupiter, and Jupiter is just another representation of Zeus. So George Washington on his right has the goddess Liberty, and on his left has the goddess Victory. And Victory is always seen with Zeus because Victory is the daughter of Zeus. So very clearly, he is representing Zeus. And on top of the dome is a statue of Lady Liberty, the goddess, which she is now holding a statue of 13 stripes and 13 stars, which represent the 13 bloodlines and the 13 colonies. And if you don't think that bloodlines actually control the world, then just remember that literally except 1 or 2 presidents are all related to the same ancestor. So even Obama, by the way. So we don't vote. They give us they give us our leaders, which is the reason why it's a new world order, which is why the Illuminati was founded when it was, which is why America and the rest of the world had to fight for its freedom. Freedom from what? Kings. What king? Jesus Christ. That was the king that they were fighting from. And why is it that our dollar can make these reptile-looking beings? And if you look very closely at the words right here, it says that word I can't pronounce, but it says one of many. Is it literally telling us there's one of many reptiles? I don't want to dive into the rabbit hole, but like, you guys let me know what I'm supposed to do with that, because what does that even mean? And legally, right, you're not allowed in DC to build taller than the obelisk, the Egyptian obelisk, a pagan symbol, right? Which, yet again, we were a Christian country, so how does that work? And isn't it funny that D.C. Washington claims to sit on 7 hills just like Rome? Isn't it weird? Right where the Capitol building is was used to be called Rome. By Francis Pope, by the way. And you know where the biggest obelisk other than Washington, D.C. is? In the Vatican. So all these people are connected. The founding fathers, which by the way is blasphemous, they were all Freemasons. And what were they finding? They were finding these buildings. That's why these buildings are all founded. And the building corner dates, right, they're all replaced and say founded. And that's why these people who supposedly built these buildings lived in wood huts, because they didn't build them, they founded them, which is why you get the word Freemasonry. They found Freemasonry. The Freemasons didn't build these, they founded them, which is ridiculous. That is why you have these Roman-looking buildings in places like Chicago in the late 17 and early 1800s. This is Louisiana in the 1800s. Louisiana, bro. Like, this looks like Venice, Italy. It's because Rome was the whole world. It was the beast. And they founded these buildings in America. And they're now teaching that Columbus didn't even find America. It was already filled with people from various places, and Vikings came here 500 years before Columbus. So obviously, if the Vikings have the same gods as the Romans, and they have the same shipping sails, and they have the same everything, obviously the Vikings were most definitely Roman. Just like Rome wasn't just in Italy. They had different people working for them, just like Jerusalem. And after 1776, the whole world started to find these buildings that were buried, because they were buried when Jesus came, and for 1,000 years these buildings had no significance to them because they were all used for bad things, like child sacrifice to the Aztec gods, right? But they were building their own things, so they didn't need them. That's why you get secret societies all coming out after 1776, because you cannot worship the devil during 1,000 years of Jesus, so you had to do it in secret. And that is also why you get technology all of a sudden coming out after 1776, when supposedly for tens of thousands of years of evolution, humans couldn't figure out how to do it. But we were building things like this and doing things that we can't do today. But hey, technology was invented after 1776. So if you think that the devil is not being worshipped within America and America doesn't represent Rome, let me know what you think.